All right, folks, time to zero in on the perfect Walther PDP builds. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into one of the most talked about striker fire pistols on the market, the Walther PDP. All right, folks, here's a close-up on the gun. If you're new to the channel or just wanting to look into getting a PDP, doing some research into it, make sure you stick around till the end of the video. I'll be giving my thoughts, debriefing the gun, but first we're going to go over a little bit of history about the PDP and Walther in general. Walther was founded all the way back in 1886 by Carl Walther. Walther has been making everything from air rifles to military sidearms for obviously close to 200 years. Fast forward to 2020, the PDP, or Performance Duty Pistol, was manufactured in Germany and officially released in February 2021. All right, these are Walther PDPs. This is the PDP full size, and this is the PDP compact. The PDP is a striker fired 9mm pistol chambered in 9x19 or 9mm. It features a steel slide, a polymer grip module. This one is threaded. You can get them with or without a threaded barrel. I have added onto this one the TLR-1HL from Streamlight. Up here also I have the Steiner MPS. These do not come with the firearm, but make great additions, especially for the full size. The compact is basically the same, has the steel slide, polymer lower, but again, I've added on an optic and a light. This light is the TLR-7X, and this is the RMR by Trijicon up here. So talking about the normal PDP is about 8 inches long. The barrel is normally only about 5 inches. They don't weigh a whole lot. They weigh about 27.5 ounces. Magazine capacity, normally it's 18 rounds. Full size, you can get a lot bigger, especially if you have an extended mag on it. And MSRP, you're looking between $600 to $1,200, depending on which model you'd want to get. All right, so let's get into some things about the PDPs. So this one is the PDP Pro. The trigger is Walther's dynamic performance trigger. It's incredibly crisp with about 2.2 inches of travel and a pull weight of basically 5.6 pounds. It's honestly one of the best triggers you can get on the market that already comes stock for a duty pistol, but they have other ones that are a lighter trigger too. You can get down to about 3.5 to 3 pounds of pull for their compact triggers for performance. If you want to get it lower than that, you're gonna have to take it to a gunsmith. Now, obviously I've said that these are both Walthers and they're both different sizes. You have the full size, you have the compact, but they have other different options available to you. If you look on the screen, I'm going to give you a breakdown of all the different sizes, but basically they have the compact 4-inch and 5-inch. They have a Pro Series, Pro X, PMM, a Pro E, and a Pro SD. And their full size, they have a 4-inch, 4.5, 5-inch match and Pro SD versions. Also, if you go to the website and you're interested in seeing what other options they have color-wise, they do have all black. They do have a two-tone black and gray. They do also have the other two-tone black and tan, or FDE. And the last one they have is the OD green. So they have black and OD green. So they have 4 pretty solid options. They aren't too vibrant. They aren't too hit you right in your face. They're pretty cool colors, pretty mellow, and really you can find one that fits your personality pretty easily. So obviously I've talked about these a lot in some YouTube shorts, but I'm a big fan of the fact that they're made in Germany. As you can see right here on the gun, it says made in Germany. So these guns are manufactured in Ulm, Germany, with some US assembly and distribution out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. The PDP did replace the PPQ as Walther's flagship pistol. These guns are now mostly used by German special forces and several US police departments, and that says a lot about its reliability. You don't really have to go too far looking for a good duty pistol. They make them in all different sizes and shapes. All around great duty pistol. All right, so I've showed you a lot about my Walthers, but kind of just up close. I've told you about just the Walthers in general. I just kind of wanted to go over my own Walthers that I have. So I have 2 of them. I have a full size, obviously, and I have the compact, obviously. Compact was my first one. Fell in love with it just because the grip angle that you get on here, and just the module in itself. It comes with great texture. On here, I added some stuff on the bottom just to get extra grip around my pinky. It's one of my weak spots, but overall the stippling that comes from factory is pretty great. Obviously, I'm in love with the FDE color on the compact. Fits really well with the RMR up top and the Streamlight on the bottom. For how much you get, the durability of this whole entire thing is pretty great. It's a lot of, great companies here. You don't have to worry about something going out or something getting broken. So I did add the performance trigger down here. So this is the dynamic performance trigger. I'll give you guys a little test. So it doesn't have a lot of pull in it. And then the reset is pretty clean. It's pretty small. And it makes it a lot easier, especially when finding your wall. It makes it really easy for training too, especially if you're working on your trigger. I know it's a big issue, triggers nowadays. There's a lot of them that come from other manufacturers that are pretty bad. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you probably know a few that are really bad, but in my opinion, off the shelf, especially if you're buying the Pro version, just their regular stock pistols are very good, but the dynamic performance triggers are probably the best in the game. So this one right here, the full size, is a little bit longer of a pull, but the reset is basically the same. You don't really have to worry whenever if you want to train with the full size and then carry a compact, you don't really have to worry about the difference. There's a slight difference just because the full size is a little bit bigger gun than the compact, but the triggers are basically the same. But the biggest thing about training with the full size and carrying the compact is I know the trigger shape is the same, and I know that mentally in my head, if I had to use my firearm, the trigger itself is going to be lighter on the compact, which is easier to remember instead of a heavier trigger on the compact. So that's just a personal preference of mine, but that's one reason why I do love these triggers. Obviously, I have the Steiner MPS up here. So this is from Steiner. Very good, all in all, enclosed dot. I love it. Had some issues when I got my first one. Basically, my elevation knob popped off, had to send it back in. They were very good with warranty. They sent me another one brand new right away. I just provided the serial number on it. The Streamlights that I have on both of my guns, they're not surefires. They're pretty mid-tier lights, but they do the job and they provide the extra weight and security of having a light on this. This Pro does have a threaded barrel. If I ever needed to suppress it for some reason, or if I wanted to put a comp on it, I could theoretically do it. It's not for me, but in the future, if I ever want to do it, it's good. The other thing that's really nice is it does have this nice mag well here on the bottom. This mag well is really obviously efficient for training, especially if you're working on mag changes. It's something I'm interested in getting on my compact carry too, just because I want that full transfer of knowledge from training to just carrying every single day. I want to have that confidence. But besides that, if you do end up wanting to get a Walther and you're going to the range and you're training, if you do like the PDP, I would highly recommend getting the full size and getting the compact versions. You can get them in the same color if you want. I just like to have two different colors. I think it's more cool, more personality, but I would just recommend getting one of each, one to train and one to carry. That way you're not carrying something totally different than what you're training with. A lot of places to get holsters for these. They're not super hard to find. You can use tier 1 concealed. We the People, Safariland, great companies out there that make holsters for both of these. And obviously you're gonna have to pay if you want a nice holster, but it's definitely worth it. You gotta protect your tools, and especially when you're training with them. So whether you're looking for just a range toy, if you're looking for a carry gun, if you're looking for a duty gun, I would say look no further than the Walther PDP. It's a great option. It's got a great trigger, has great capacity, feels great in the hand. Everything about this gun screams it's the #1 right now on the market, and I think it has a good shot to be #1 on the market. There's a lot of other great guns out there. You have a lot of CZs that are pretty good. Some people like Glocks. They have good aftermarket Glock triggers, and Glocks are pretty reliable. In my opinion, I like the PDPs. I like how they perform. I've had no issues with them whatsoever. It's German engineering. Can't get any better than that. All right, everybody, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. These are my thoughts. These guns are awesome. Great triggers, great reliability. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Stay tuned for future videos. Me and Zane are going to be breaking down a lot more guns, giving you our thoughts and opinions, and hopefully we'll see you next time.